Thank you, John. In fact, that's why I'm making an announcement today. It is now 21 days, 9 hours, 28 minutes, and 53 seconds until Trudeau's April Fool's Day tax hike kicks in on you. So here's my announcement. Common sense Conservatives are unleashing a massive pressure campaign on NDP and Liberal MPs to vote against Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh and in favor of spiking the hike and axing the tax. But it involves all of you. I can't do it myself. Politics is not a spectator sport. It is a participation sport. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So you need to be at the table. So I'm going to be asking some things from all of you. I'm going to be asking, we are going to start a massive pressure campaign in Parliament, but you need to back me up on the ground. How many of you are going to write your Liberal NDP members and demand they vote with common sense Conservatives to axe the tax? How many will organize protests out of Liberal constituency offices to pressure them to do the right thing? How many of you are going to send emails to all of your networks and post on all of your social media so that every one of your neighbors know about the upcoming April Fool's Day tax hike? How many of you will bombard Liberal NDP offices with phone calls to make sure that they understand their constituents cannot afford to pay anymore? We are going to heighten the power and the pressure on the Liberal MPs. Now many of you will say, oh, that will never make a difference. Well, if you think that you're too small to be effective, you've never been in a tent with a mosquito. The reality is, we have forced these guys to back down before. Remember, Justin Trudeau wanted to apply his massive tax increase on home heating oil right across the country. So we launched a campaign just like this in Atlantic Canada to keep the heat on and take the tax off. Atlantic Canadians rose up, they made noise, and their MPs heard the message loud and clear that they were not prepared to pay the bills. So these MPs started calling Justin Trudeau, begging him to cancel his plans to apply the tax on home heating bills. And on one Friday, when Justin Trudeau was relaxing his office, all of a sudden his secretary said, Mr. Prime Minister, there's a whole gang of Atlantic Canadian Liberal MPs banging on your door. They're demanding that you announce here and now that you're going to give their constituents a break on the carbon tax. He said, close the door, don't let them in for God's sakes. So they tried that, but they kept pounding away, and Justin started to get nervous. He was rolled up in a little ball in the fetal position on the ground, he sucked on his thumb. And finally, they kicked down the door, they grabbed him, they dragged him out to a press conference where an unannounced, unscheduled press conference, where he said that he would pause the tax for some people in some regions where his caucus was revolting and his poll numbers were plummeting. Well, we want to see his caucus revolting everywhere and his poll numbers plummeting everywhere so that he will spike the hike until we can axe the tax. It's not just about the cost to consumers. It's about the independence, the self-reliance of the Canadian economy. This tax applies on our businesses, but not on the businesses that dump their product, foreign corporations that dump their products into our country and make us more dependent on the rest of the world. I was at Canada's oldest steel plant, Stelco, over 100 years. Any steel workers here? We got a steel worker there. God bless the steel workers. Amazing steel workers in that country. And their chief operating officer told me that when the carbon tax is fully implemented, it will cost $500 million for their one plant. That's thousands of jobs, my friends. That's wages that will be robbed from unionized, hardworking Canadian workers. Money that will be taken from their kitchen tables that would have been used to feed their kids. And what will it mean for the world and for the environment? It will mean we will import more steel products from the most dirty, polluting foreign dictatorships where they don't have any carbon tax at all. They are pushing production out of Canada. Pushing production out of Canada. They're doing the same thing with the electric car mandate, right? They're forcing you to drive a vehicle that was used with materials refined, burning coal in China. They want our money to go to a foreign dictatorship. You know, Justin Trudeau, I've said he's always admired the basic Chinese communist dictatorship in China. We just didn't realize that he meant he was going to send our jobs and our money over to that foreign dictatorship. So my common sense plan, my friends, is to axe the tax on Canadian businesses so that they can bring home the production to this country. We can make our own steel, manufacture our own goods, produce our own food,